and Bachelor Nation have had a couple of rough runs the last couple of seasons. Let's do a little flashback, shall we? We had Hannah Brown, who was a disaster. She was okay on Colton Underwood's season, and then when she came around as the Bachelorette, she was quite a disgrace. I have previously referred to as the worst thing that has ever happened to feminism, or the worst parts of feminism. You can check that out at the Federalist. But Hannah Brown was just awful. She was very unbearable. She made horrible choices, and then she passed them on to other people and blamed other people for them, and we just couldn't get rid of her. She had a horrible season, and then she showed up on Bachelor in Paradise, and then she showed up on Dancing with the Stars, and then she showed up on TikTok, heaven help us. We really couldn't get rid of her. Then fast forward to Peter Weber, who was the worst bachelor we've had in years. He was absolutely awful. We got to see him returning, and we had high hopes for Peter. And then he turned out to be quite a man-child that no woman needed. He was awful. You can also check that piece out at the Federalist. Unbearable season, and he brought his mother into it, and she was even worse than he was. Just awful. So then we fast forward to the beginning of this season, a much anticipated season of The Bachelorette. We waited a very long time for it. It got postponed because of the coronavirus, which has postponed so many things in our lives, but Bachelor Nation, The Bachelorette was a really big hit for us. So we finally got to this season, and it was highly anticipated, not only because it was during coronavirus, but because The Bachelorette was Claire Crawley, somebody who was more or less beloved in Bachelor Nation. She was known because she is 39 years old, which is the oldest Bachelorette we've ever had. She was a kind of a throwback to a very old season, Juan Pablo's season. So we finally brought her on, and we were very excited about this season of The Bachelorette, excited to see her finally find love in her late 30s. And we got about 2-3 weeks into the season, and she already is engaged. Somebody snatched her up. But the journey there was pretty unbearable to watch. She got Dale. I'm glad that they're happy together. That was fine. But she did not demonstrate the maturity that we were hoping that a 39-year-old would bring to The Bachelorette. Her After the Final Rose was the cringiest thing I've ever seen, where she declared that she wanted to have babies before Chris Harrison even asked the question. It was very uncomfortable for everyone watching. But then, fast forward to maybe the brightest thing that has happened yet in 2020. And that was the addition of Tayshia Adams to The Bachelorette. Now, the maturity that we had hoped Claire Crawley would demonstrate, all of it has come to fruition in the beauty that is Tayshia Adams. She is gorgeous, a smoke show, you might say. But she is also of upstanding character. She fights for herself. She's very articulate. She's very bright, and she's very genuine, and she's very fun. She doesn't bring a lot of drama, but she knows what she wants. And not only do we have a killer Bachelorette in Tayshia Adams, but we also have an incredible crop of bachelors for her to choose from. This has been a slightly dramatic season in all the ways that it's normally dramatic, but also not quite as petty and not quite as much of the stupid drama that, you can make fun in all the shallow conversations. We've got some deep conversations about divorce and conversations about education, which was one of the most entertaining things of this season of The Bachelor, when Bennett, who Lord knows how Sweet Bennett, is still on The Bachelor. But he went to Harvard and can't spell limousine and can't do basic math or tell time. So it's been a very entertaining season, but Tayshia is really the bright spot of 2020. We're very excited to see what happens next. And I don't think that Tayshia Adams can be topped in Bachelor Nation. We'll see if I'm proved wrong.